The man who helped PSG finally win their first Champions League could be Manchester United's next goalkeeper. Sounds bold, right? But here's the twist. PSG have already signed Lucas Chevalier and Gianluigi Donnarumma is set to leave. So is Old Trafford his next stop? Well, what if I told you the biggest obstacle isn't Paris or the fee, but the man already between our sticks? Today we're breaking down Donnarumma's Champions League heroics, his profile, the Manchester United links and how he'd fit into Amorim's system. What's going on with his contract and why, despite PSG moving him on, a transfer to United still feels unlikely. And yes, we're keeping all the digs at Onana. Let's start with the season that put his name back on every club's radar. PSG finally broke the curse and lifted the Champions League, and Donnarumma was front and center. Big saves against Liverpool in the quarters, denying Aston Villa in the semis and producing one of the saves of the season in the final. When he's on it, he's a wall, calm under pressure, dominates his box. You know, the sort of thing that makes you watch and think, oh, that's nice, it'd be great to save that here. But here's the big shift. PSG have gone out and spent around 40 million euros on Lucas Chevalier from Lille. He's younger, French, and better with his feet. That's the direction Luis Enrique wants, which means Donnarumma is officially surplus to requirements. This isn't some punt on potential. Donnarumma is 26 years old, already Italy's captain, a Euros winner, and over 400 senior appearances. He's won the Yashin Trophy and now he's got a Champions League medal in the bag. At 1.96 meters, he makes the goal look like a five-side net. He's elite at shot stopping, commanding crosses, and making strikers wish they stayed in bed. The trade-off? He's not Edison with his feet. He's more launch it clear than thread the needle. Still, when the ball's in the danger zone, you trust him to deal with it, which, well, is something we can't always say about Onana without crossing our fingers. So why are we in the conversation? Simple. When a Champions League winning keeper is up for sale, big clubs get linked. Donnarumma's people know United's a clicky headline, and with all the debates around our number one, it's an easy bait. But there's some logic. United's goalkeeping position isn't bulletproof in the fans' eyes. And if PSG are actively selling, there's a window. Reports suggest they'd want around £30 million for him. Not outrageous for a player of his caliber, but not pocket change either. Still, no bids, no negotiations, and nothing concrete. Just a situation where PSG are pushing him out, and clubs like United are being name-dropped. Here's the fit question. Donnarumma would instantly give United more authority in the box. High balls, close range shots will all be sorted. And you'd have fewer heart and mouth moments watching him dribble past a pressing striker because, well, he just wouldn't. But Amorim wants his keepers involved in build-up. Donnarumma's passing is fine, but it's not a weapon. It would mean tweaking the system like Ten Hag had to adapt for De Gea. Do United really want to make the compromise again? Especially after a year of building out from the back with Onana? Well, let's see. Here's where it gets interesting. Donnarumma's deal runs until 2026. PSG have no interest in losing him for free next year, and with Chevalier through the door, they're ready to cash in now. He's on massive wages, reportedly north of 200 grand a week, and wants that matched wherever he goes. That's a big commitment for a position United have already invested heavily in. And while PSG are selling, they're not in the bargain bin mode. They'll wait for the right bid. And here's the reality check. Andre Onana isn't going anywhere. He's got a contract until 2028, Amorim's full backing, and no intention from the player to leave. Love him or not, Onana is the ball-playing keeper that Amorim gets. Replacing him would mean ripping up part of the tactical plan and taking a big financial hit on a player signed just 2 years ago. So unless United suddenly decide to cash in on Onana, which there's zero sign of, the Donnarumma move is like imagining we'll see Old Trafford beer prices drop. Great in theory, but nah. So there it is, PSG's Champions League hero, now surplus thanks to Lucas Chevalier's arrival, up for sale and linked with United, but with Onana still very much the man in goal. It's a story that's more transfer gossip than reality. Question is, would you take Donnarumma tomorrow if it meant selling Onana? Or do you stick with the chaos we know? Team Donnarumma or Team Onana? Drop in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.